Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for another match of international rugby. This one, Wales versus Argentina. We actually saw this series take place a little while ago. I believe it was last year when these two sides did clash 3 times. This time, I guess you'd say it's an interesting matchup. The All Blacks, they were able to beat Wales. Argentina, they actually got themselves a massive win over England. So they've built some good momentum heading into this contest, and now we just have to wait to see exactly who is able to get themselves a victory. Looking through at Wales, starting lineup will be Gareth Thomas in the front row alongside Ken Owens and Dylan Lewis. Then in the locking duo will be Will Rowlands and Adam Beard. Dan Lydiard at 6, Chiperick at 7, and then Talupe Falatau closing out that starting lineup. Forward pack for the Welsh. Looking through the back line will be Thomas Williams at number 9, Gareth Anscombe at 10, so still no Dan Bigger in that starting lineup. Rio Dyer out on the left wing. I felt he did pretty well in the game up against New Zealand at times. Nick Tompkins and George North will be the midfield. Alex Cuthbert out on the other wing. And then it is Lewis Rees-Zammit getting his opportunity at number 15 for this contest. So I am intrigued to see how he ends up going for this matchup. Then looking through at the Argentine side of Thomas Gallo in the front row. Of course, a lot of people will remember him from the Rugby Championship when he was able to get himself quite a few tries in a hurry. Augustin Crevi there at number 2, and then Francisco Gomez Cordella will be the last man in the front row. Matthias Alemano at number 4, Thomas Lavanini at 5, then Juan Matan Gonzalez, for me, one of the best Argentine players out of any player in the Rugby Championship. Marcos Crema at 7, and Pablo Matera slotting in as the number 8. Then the back line, Gonzalo Berrano with Santiago Carreras as the 19 combo, what they did go with for the Rugby Championship, and also in the matchup against England, Geronimo De La Fuente at number 12, Matthias Maroni at number 13, and then Emiliano Boffelli. Carreras out on the right wing, and then it is Juan Cruz Malia starting in as the final man in the starting lineup. But we have just heard the Argentine national anthem, which means we are not too far at all away from this matchup getting underway. And also, you look sunburnt, says Xavier. That is probably because I might be. Did play cricket today out in the sun. So that might be why I'm a little bit redder than usual. I think it's also the lighting. If I go back here, it's not as bad. And also, that's how you beat Japan All Blacks back to reality. Says Mike, and also Japan didn't turn up unless against England. They played well against New Zealand, says Hershey. And also, we got the Argentina, says Nate there. And also, we have got the Gareth Hamish is awake. I sure am. We have still got this live stream and then South Africa versus France taking place a little bit later on in the morning. By the time that one's finished, though, we would have been awake for around 29 hours. And of that time, we would have done about maybe 12 to 14 hours of live streaming. So it's quite an effort for ourselves. And hopefully the voice is still going. The brain is still going by the end of it. But this Welsh side, they'll be looking to get themselves some momentum in these Northern Hemisphere Tour internationals. I believe they have one more game left. Same for Argentina. And it's just a big question of who will be coming out of their Northern Hemisphere Tour the slight better side overall in those win-loss records. Did see Australia. They did have the upset loss to Italy for the first time ever. The Italians able to get themselves the win over the Aussies. And also a bit earlier on, we did see Fiji. They were defeated by Ireland. Bravo, Hamish, says Karma Pitch. And then you're the man, Hampshire, says Michael. And there as well. Yeah, I have no idea how tired I'm going to be tomorrow or later today, I guess it will be. But we have also got the All Blacks game that is going to come up against Scotland. And sorry to say this as a Welshman, but Argentina will win by at least 10, says Gavin. So that is a bold call, definitely at the Principality. Now, last week, I don't think Wales really lived up to the expectations of them playing at the Principality Stadium. But this week, up against Argentina, they'll know a little bit more about what to expect. And to be honest, Hamish, Wallabies going backwards, says Nate there, and score Argentina over 50, says Richard in the chat as well. But yeah, I do look a bit red at the moment. I think the Principality Stadium behind me also doesn't help because it's probably, in a weird way, it's kind of reflecting a little bit from my screen. That's normally a good tester, isn't it? If it stays there for a long time. It's not too bad. If I am sunburnt, it's only a little bit. Shouldn't be too bad. But Augustin Crevi in the front row for Argentina, he is certainly going to be a man to watch out for in this matchup because the rolling maul of Argentina could be extremely strong if they decide to use it. And I think they should decide to use it because it's a very effective tool for Los Pumas. Like they are saying, Alan Wynne-Jones nowhere in the selection process. Let him passion the weekend for Argentina and France win. Says Gareth, and if Argentina are still on form, Wales won't beat them unless they defend consistently. Pumas will put 4 tries on them, says Hershey. And I have a little concern, and I've seen this in the past for Argentina. They have a really good game up against the side, and then they go the next week, and they don't continue that momentum. I hope this isn't the same Argentine side that I remember from a few years ago that had that momentum. And also, well done, Hamish. Sorry about Hampshire, says Michael. No worries. And also, people don't realise how bad Wales are. They are 9 in the world for a reason, and my reverse psychology worked. Samoan win, says Nazi Williams. And now I know that next weekend for the final between Samoa and Australia, we are going to have to try and find a way of convincing my parents that it would be a good idea to do New Zealand versus England while we do Samoa versus Australia. That one will be an interesting conversation. I'll probably have to get the checkbook out, get some money on the table, see how it goes. But Ben O'Keefe going to be in charge of this game. Looks angry at the moment. Ben O'Keefe, he's from New Zealand. He's probably not happy with the weather. It's happening in the Northern Hemisphere at the moment. It is summer down here, but the song has finished. And Argentina, they will be kicking off from left to right in this contest. And the good news is this game can't go to golden point, just like the last game that we did cover in Italy over Australia, says DJ Mills. And there as well. But it will be Santiago Carreras who gets us underway for this matchup, Argentina versus Wales. We have seen this match take place about a year ago. Like I mentioned, it was a 3-match series. It was relatively even in a few of those games. I remember Lee Halfpenny got himself injured in the very first moment of one of the contests, sadly. Thomas Williams inside of the 22 here. Wales look like they will be rolling this one back and putting in the box kick. Does go high, almost charged down by Thomas Lavanini. We had a decent crack at it now, taken nicely by Emiliano Boffelli. Tries to keep it in the field of play, but it's a little bit risky. Augustin Crevi able to jump that ball nicely, though, and keeps it alive for the Argentines. And they want to start this match well for Argentina and come on the Argies. Says Michael, and also we get that through Nazi, says Nate. And there as well, right, they have been told to use it once again. Gonzalo Berrano, this time he will send it to the sky, and Samoa had England chasing him, says Nate there. Yeah, those golden point moments, though, they were pretty nerve-wracking. Like, and the fact that I didn't go for either of the sides in terms of location, and it still was nerve-wracking. Great run from Lewis Rees-Zammit. Ball on the outside to Lupe Faletau. In fact, was actually the winger Rio Dyer. Keeps the ball alive, but it's a knock-on against the Welsh, and now the scrum feed will be going the way of Argentina. A quick pace start to this contest between the two sides. Seems like Lewis Rees-Zammit at fullback. He will be joining the line quite a bit by the looks of it, trying to keep the opportunity alive. Did you see the game, Italy versus Argentina? Italy versus Argentina or Italy versus Australia, DJ Mills? Do let me know, because I know that Italy played Australia, and in the end, the Italians are able to get themselves a very awesome win, which they would be hugely impressed with. Lewis Rees-Zammit taking some deep breaths already after that nice big break that he was able to get for himself. It's going to be an interesting one. The Principality Stadium, it's still one of those stadiums that my brain says it should have more of an impact on the players than it does, if that makes sense. And I mean, Australia, says DJ Mills, yeah. In the end, I didn't actually get a chance to watch the highlights, but I will be watching the full match replay probably tomorrow night or the next day. Possibly, and I mean, Australia, says DJ Mills there. Now Gonzalo Berrano about to feed the ball in. Like they're saying, Pablo Montero off the back of the scrum. I feel like I'm not saying as many words on this live stream, so I guess I do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. I think that last live stream was that hectic that my brain is still comprehending what we just witnessed, and George North injured already, says Gareth, and also I'm in Australia, and also I said it from the get-go, England Lions going too hard too early because come finals out of fuel, says Nate. It's going to be kicked high, nicely taken by Rio Dyer. Great step on the short side, going forward now. Great tackle made though by, I believe it was Francisco Gomez Gordelli. Looks like he stayed in a ball, might have an injury here for the Argentine tight ear prop, Thomas Williams. Going back across now, Nick Tompkins finds the flick pass. It's a bit loose though. Lewis Rees-Zammit has to jump on it And also we have got their red background not helping your complexion, says Gareth. That is true. I feel like I look even more sunburnt than I already may be. Possibly. And also we have there drink warm water, boss, says Nate. I have got a new glass of water I decided to top up just because I feel like hydration will be very important for me throughout the night. And like a black fern, let's go, says Max. But that's gone out on the fill from Santiago Carreras. And now it will be the line out throw, or they will have the scrum there for Wales. I believe they will take the scrum. Down the wing, Dye. He's got plenty of toe, just like Lewis Rees-Zammit. They've got some explosive wingers at the moment in the Welsh sides. Throughout the URC, that ball's going to be loose, regathered by Thomas Williams. Now Alex Cuthbert tries to crash his way forward. Back across, nice run from Ken Owens. Man who might also enjoy a bit of a rolling maul when he gets the opportunity throughout this contest. Now it's available once again for Williams to fire it off to the short side. Tompkins, it was a tough pass, and George North, he would have done very well to be able to take it. Oh, let's go, Nosey. And also earlier beat Australia by 1 point. They certainly did. Now it's kicked downfield, straight down the middle of the park, going back for the initial advantage, and that one will be in favour of the Argentines. 10 red offside, be against Gareth Anscombe. Currently 5 minutes through this game already. I feel like rugby today is just going to fly by. Like, we've still got the Springboks game. They are going to be taking on the French. That is going to be a very awesome contest, and that kicks off at 9 a.m. New Zealand time. So that is in 2.5 hours' time or so that game will be starting. There is another injury here. I believe it is a Pumas player. Who is that? I think that's Thomas Gallo. Doesn't look too flashy at the moment. Samoa also beat Georgia, says Gareth. So, yeah, a few upsets, because I know that Georgia was supposed to have a decent crack in that game up against the Samoans after what we saw Italy do to Samoa the week prior. But it does seem like maybe, like, there's a lot of sides that have gone 1-1. You get one win and then you lose one, or you win one, or you lose one, and then you win one. Seems to be a little bit of a pattern. So far, Italy are actually sitting 2 from 2 for themselves. Very handy indeed. But now it is going to be the line-out throw for Argentina here once again. Currently 5.5 minutes through the contest, and Augustin Crevi now getting to test his line-out for the first time in this match. Does play a majority of his rugby at the London Irish. Nicely taken to the front by, I believe that was Matthias Alemano. Now looking for this rolling maul. It looks like it's slightly breaking off the side and still marching, though. Ken Owens asking for a penalty or something along those lines, but it's going to be an advantage now in favour of Argentina. Carreras, nice ball in behind, good attacking run here. Now short ball off the Juan Cruz Malio. Did end up joining up with the line for the Argentines, going short side. Burrano looking for the offload there. Geronimo de la Fuente almost able to find it. Now Burrano once again goes short side. Believe they have got no advantage anymore now for the Australians. Sorry, for the Argentines. Marcos Crema. And well, once again, now going back across to the right-hand side. Augustin Crevi. Almost stolen by Wales, but it will be the penalty in favour of the Argentina side. And Los Pumas may consider a 3-pointer here. Crevi going at 38. And the thing is, he's still definitely an option for the World Cup, because he's still got, well, he's got the physicality that he needs. He's still got the fitness. He's still got everything that it would take for him to be in that World Cup squad. And I guess it's just a question of whether or not he wants to, really. And also, bro, I still have goosebumps from Samoa game. She says, Prodigy Son, yeah, I feel like at the moment I'm on a very weird, like, I guess, calmness after that last game. Like, my hands are no longer shaking, solid as a rock, but it's just more of the case of, I think this game's going to be the game that I get to enjoy at a slightly slower, methodical pace, and then we're back into France versus South Africa, which is certainly going to be a big game when it does come around. But Emiliano Buffelli to line up this kick. This one should be kickable. 20 meters out. Emiliano Buffelli gets it over, and now Argentina find themselves with the lead over the Welsh here. 3-0 after only the first 8 minutes of the game. Principality Stadium. I don't believe there should be any rain around but you just never know. But we see there in the background, Michael Cheika was in charge of Lebanon in the Rugby League World Cup, then switched straight over to Argentina and witnessed them get themselves the victory over England, which is pretty much, I guess, about as big as a win as Argentina can get for this tour. That was a big yawn. Kind of makes sense. I have been up for 23 hours as we currently sit. And also, new joke about Aussie tour. I just have 1 point, says Gareth there. Oh, I just have 1 point. Because they're really going down, aren't they, Australia, in terms of losing to Italy. Luckily, they won against Scotland by that 1 point, or else that could have been more trouble. That's going to be another penalty in favour of Argentina. Ben O'Keefe says there's a little bit of obstruction there. And also, we've got their roof shut, I think, says Richard. So that will also help in terms of keeping the rain out. And Oz lose or win by 1 point last 3 games, says Gareth. Geez, that is a stat and a half. Win or lose by 1 point. Uh-oh. Another yawn in Australia. All their at their all-time low is DJ Mills. But I guess all sides have those little patches where they do have good games and bad games. Australia currently have found themselves in the bad game stint, but they'll be looking to change that in the future. And maybe, they could just be peaking at the right time for the Rugby World Cup. You never know. Still about 300 days away, I believe, for that World Cup. Nice inside ball there once again. Nice work from Mateo Carreras. Now Argentina inside of the Welsh 22, looking to attack here. Gonzalo Berrano goes off to the left-hand side here. The drawing pass is looking sharp from Argentina. Their backline's looking good for this matchup early on. Marcos Crema hits it up at the line. Good tackle made by Will Rowlands. Berrano goes across now. Short ball to Augustin Crevi from Matthias Maroni. Bertrano once again goes off to Geronimo de la Fuente. Kicks it in behind. Lewis Rees-Zammit is there and just has to run it into touch. But they will be going back for the initial advantage for Argentina. And I think they'll take another 3 points here. If it's on offer, they might as well be taking it. Like they're saying, Buffelli be keen to take on this one, I would think. Augustin Crevi still puffing a little bit, as you would be of that one. And also 23 hours, make sure get as many hours of sleep after box versus the French, says Nate. Yeah, so I think the plan is probably going to be sleep from about 12 to either around midnight-ish, I think might be the plan. So I will have the live stream for All Blacks versus Scotland scheduled, so that we don't have to worry about doing that at a random hour of the morning. We'll get that all set up, and then from there, we will end up sleeping for pretty much as long as possible, I guess is the best way of looking at it. And then I'll probably end up getting up early on Monday morning, or staying up after that on Monday and then going to work, I think might be the plan. Now, Argentina going for the rolling maul. Once again, Pablo Matera does get wrestled down 10 meters out from the line. It is going to be another advantage for Argentina. So normally they are the side giving away those penalties about 5 meters out from their line, but that's going to be going back for another penalty. Double blow of the whistle. Ben O'Keefe is not too happy with the Welsh here, and also at least he's not doing the games with really hard names, says Gareth there. Yeah, these names aren't too bad. Overall. And Justin Chipperick, sorry. Next offside inside of the 22 will be a yellow card. Clear from Ben O'Keefe, pretty much saying exactly what he expects from this Welsh defence. It's to not be offside. Now, Pablo going to decide what he wants to do with this ball. Believe they will be taking on the 3 points, though. Emiliano Buffelli straight out in front of the posts. Nice and simple for Argentina. That will actually give them a 6-point lead. I think that's Buffelli. Yes, it is. I thought for a second that they might have been trying a different kicker. And I guess at some stage for Argentina, it might not be a bad idea, seeing as they do rely heavily on Emiliano Buffelli's kicking. But if he is injured, that opens up quite the gap. So there was a bit of a team huddle going on for Argentina there. Pablo Matera's got it all sorted. He's also got blood coming out of the side of his head Something he might need checked out. Emiliano Boffelli, he's been playing with some paint because his right arm is completely covered in white and grey. It's quite a cool ball, though. I do see the little Welsh logo on it. I was considering getting myself a Rugby World Cup ball. But then the problem is, if I had a ball like that, I wouldn't want to kick it around. You just want to keep it somewhere safe. So it makes it tricky because you want to kick a rugby ball if you've got one, but you also don't want to get it dirty because then it just doesn't look as good. That kick's gone over from Emiliano Boffelli, and now 6-0 for Argentina. So they won't mind this one bit, being able to add up those 3 points over and over and over again for little mistakes that Wales do make. And please don't forget to smash the like, folks. Says repent there. Yeah, anyone who's new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The backs coach, Felipe, looking on for Argentina. I think this live stream is the one that we're going to yawn on the most. And also I put all the money. I got Wales will not make the Rugby World Cup 2027 because they are certain come fourth in their World Cup pool in 2023. Says Richard there. Ball available at the back. Santiago Carreras from inside of his 22. Kicks it downfield, and he does manage to find touch with it. A decent clearance from Berrano. Getting it down the field as far as possible, and now the line-out will be in favour of Wales. They've got Ken Owens as their line-out thrower. Normally very consistent. Ken Owens, that is why he found himself in the British and Irish Lions tour, I should say. It reminds me of buying a new pair of running shoes to train in. I don't want to use them to get them dirty or to dirty them. Yeah, I have recently found that out. And I wonder, oh, that's a bad slip there. Marcos Crema almost squashed a man with his quad. But yeah, the thing I find annoying with running shoes is they've all got white underneath and on the sides. And it's like, as soon as I step on grass, these are turning green. So I just have them in a shoe rack in my room. And it's a shot for each time Hamish yawns. You guys will be absolutely hammered by the end of this live stream, then I would think that was the case. And we've still got South Africa versus France a little bit later on. Nice run from Lydia. Taken down nicely by Argentina. That was Matthias Alemano that time. Now another spin. Thomas Williams. Set off now to Adam Beard. This is probably the best structured play that we've seen from Wales, although now they've decided to go for the cross kick, which I don't know whether or not that was the best option. It's going to be taken beautifully by Emiliano Boffelli. Wales just a little bit impatient. Not willing to allow those phases to just keep on building up Argentina for the win, says DJ there. And Nazi Williams has got the laughing. So now this time it is going to be kicked high by Argentina. Mateo Carreras hits it back onto his side, or does he know it is going to be the knock on against the Argentines there? I just showing Juan Matan Gonzalez. He is a dangerous one. Uh-oh, here comes. There goes another shot. Plenty of them so far. I think that's about our fourth yawn on this live stream. We're averaging about one yawn every 4 minutes, which means we'd do 20 throughout the match if we're doing it strategically. Okay, there we're just going upstairs, checking something on the TMO very briefly, I believe. I think it's going to be all right. And also off topic, my bad. What exact time is the Oz Samoa game New Zealand time next week? Thanks, says Nazi Williams. So it is 5 a.m. Sunday. So it's at a random time for us here in New Zealand. But it also overlaps with the All Blacks versus England, that game. So that is slightly unfortunate that it's got an overlap. But also, if we get drunk from yawn shots, it's your fault, says Gareth. That is true. I'm currently stretching out my muscles because I did play cricket earlier today and I feel pain. I feel like if I don't move them, it will end up with them all stiffening up and I won't be able to move it all tomorrow. So I'm just kicking my legs as well at the moment. Anyone wondering why I'm moving? And also, how about some coffee? I've actually never drunk any coffee in my life, believe it or not, and that won't take long, says Fintano Mora, sorry, I should say. We're currently 16 minutes through. I believe this is going to be a scrum now for the two sides. Time is back on for the scrum, says Ben O'Keefe. Now, Argentina, they've got a big front row, and if your arms are sore, means no guitar, yeah, says Gareth. That would be a bit of a shame, wouldn't it? And also yesterday, bro, that is true. We are currently Oh, yeah, was it 50 overs? It was 40 over cricket, but I didn't have to bowl, but I did a bit of fielding that I probably shouldn't have put as much effort into as I did. I did a few dives and whatnot, but then I did do a bit of batting as well, which was hard enough. I haven't really run anywhere in a while. Now, Juan Cruz Malia takes it nicely in behind for Los Pumas. It's going to bounce up nicely, though, for Wales. Now, Gareth Anscombe. I have a feeling he's going to try and kick it out on the full at some stage throughout this match. Don't know why. It just seems like something that might happen. Now, Juan Cruz Malia found the offload in the end, but he put a lot of pressure on his Argentine teammate. Juan Cruz Malia plays half. Gives it off to Francisco Gomez Cordell. It is good to see that he got himself back up after getting a little bit earlier in the contest. Getting a little bit injured earlier on in the contest, I should say. Bertrano puts eye once again. Nicely taken by Lewis Rees-Sam. It goes across now into the hands of Rio Dyer. It's been good throughout this game, although that time he did make the mistake of trying to find a forced offload that they didn't need to do. Kicked him high from Gonzalo Bertrano, but they had the men back for that. And now it's going to be a nice run forward once again from Dyer, who doesn't look for the offload that time. So he has learned. Oh my God, silly pass, there's Richard. Yeah, although they did recover. In the end, although it's kicked him behind now, Argentina back in position. Emiliano Boffelli. Tackled by George North. And it's going to it's going to be a rolling ball, actually almost becoming a high tackle advantage there. Yes, it has. Number 13 and 14, both with the high tackle. So that would have been Mateo Carreras and also... Oh, no, sorry, I got that around the wrong way. It was George North and Cuthbert who were the two who ended up giving away that penalty. Total penalties, we have seen 6 against Wales, 0 against Argentina. That is an incredible stat. Argentina are yet to give themselves a single penalty away. Very impressive. A moment, we will go like this. And we will go like this. I'm curious to know what the odds are sitting at for this game, because at the end of the day, Wales at the Principality, I would have thought would get them a little bit of the bragging rights, but Argentina coming off a win up against England, I feel like that's also going to be the bragging rights for them. Nicely taken by Barbara Matera there. Now moving up to 22 metres out. Okay, so Wales are $2.50 underdogs. Argentina are $1.52 favourites. For anyone who was wondering about the betting odds for this matchup. So they're relatively even, I guess you could say, at this stage of the match. It's ripped away by Ken Owens there. And Wales now going to have themselves a counter-attacking opportunity, although Nick Tompkins has decided that the best bet is to kick it way in behind. Now kick downfield. Nicely taken by Wales inside of their 22. It will be Gareth Anscombe. Is this one the one that he kicks into touch on the full? No, it's not, sadly. I feel like one's coming at some stage throughout this match. If the Pumas score first, it'll raise their passion and crush Wales, says Gareth there. Now kicked him behind from Lewis Rees-Sam, I should say. Now Juan Cruz Malia cleans it up, looking for a kick downfield. Straight down the middle. Ben O'Keefe doing his best to offside. Or I guess watch for the offside of both sides. Now Thomas Williams kicks it downfield. Good kick from Thomas Williams. He has made about 40-plus metres from that kick downfield. Exactly what he would have been after. And also we've got their Welsh attack gone a bit flat again. And Anscombe kicks a pointless, says Hershey. Yeah, at the moment, he just doesn't seem like there's a plan. And it kind of reminds me of what we saw from Jaden Hendrickse in the first game between South Africa and Ireland. It was kicking for the sake of kicking rather than kicking for the sake of actually, I guess, gaining something from it, whether that's territory, whether that's trying to test out the opposition under the high ball. Rolling ball now, Argentina. Looks like they are going to be slightly creeping backwards here, although now they try and go around the side. They have been told to use it here. Twice by Ben O'Keefe. Oh, little mistake. Gonzalo Bertrano with the knock on. I'm not too sure whose foot that hit, but it certainly wasn't one that Bertrano saw. Yeah, it just ends up hitting Well, in fact, it doesn't really hit anything. It just slips right out of the fingers for Gonzalo Bertranos. And now it will give the opportunity to Wales to try and get themselves a scrum feed win from about 35 metres from the line. That's the difference between Ireland and the rest of Europe. The way they kick and run at the right times. So here's Richard there. Like they say, in the first real attacking opportunity for Wales in this matchup to be able to go for it. See what they can do out wide. I like to see Reece Zammit get a little bit of a chance here, though. Would be quite handy. Lupe Falatalo joining up at the back. Him versus Pablo Matera is always an intriguing one when it takes place. Now ball fed in by Thomas Williams. Gone sideways at the moment for Wales, not really making those meters that they would have been after, and it looks like it's gone down in the front row. It is the advantage to Wales. Now they go off to the short side with Alex Cuthbert. Keeps the offload alive. Thomas Williams. One more often, Nick Tompkins. Another flick pass on the inside. For I believe that would have been Will Rowland setting the ball up, and also Welsh aerial attack. It's been dire, I agree, says Hershey. Now Thomas Williams. Back to Anscombe in the midfield. Now short ball. Penalty. In fact, no, sorry, we are going back for the initial penalty advantage. So this could be Wales' chance to get 3 points on the board if they want it, unless they do want to go for the corner, go a bit more aggressive early on. Like with the ball being in Anscombe's hands, they're kicking for the corner. And the crowd give them a bit of a cheer as well. They are impressed with the aggression that we're going to see from the Welsh here. It's a good kick as well, only 5 metres out from the line. A good opportunity for Ken Owens to get one of those straight line-outs in. And then all the Welsh need to do is just get that rolling ball going forward, which is something they did try a bit earlier on. It wasn't that successful. Also, touch, says Richard there. Now 24 minutes down in this game. This one is actually going pretty quick, I have noticed. Nicely taken by Adam Baird. Now the rolling ball commences, and this is going to be the perfect opportunity for Wales to keep marching forward. Close to the line, 1 metre short. Thomas Williams, that's going to be a deliberate knockdown and at least a penalty against the Argentines, if not maybe even a yellow card. And what a waste, says Gavin there. Okay, Ben O'Keefe is saying he didn't see a slap. I'm happy with this decision right now, says Ben O'Keefe. There is a deliberate knock-on as called by the TMO. So because of that, I believe that they might be going upstairs penalty only by the sounds of it. Oh. Okay, so that will actually be one of the first penalties against Argentina. Are you going to do the game between South Africa and France as well, says Johnny Douglas. That is the plan. Going to have to find my second win before that match, though, because at the moment, I think being awake for about 24 hours is starting to kick in, which is not what we want. I want to be wide awake for that South Africa versus France game. I'm going to have to do a whole heap of like rituals of like spraying myself with water and whatnot. Now, nice run forward from Juan Cruz Malia. Back into the pocket. Oh, pressure. I think that was Santiago Carreras who decided he wanted to try and go for a bit of a pick and a go. And he didn't really go or pick anywhere. Kick downfield. And Bertrano has been able to find the touchline. So now Wales will have this one about 20 metres out. Sorry, 40 metres out from the Argentine line. We haven't really seen too much Argentine attack as of yet. It seems to be that we see a few little moments. And then from there, it is more Wales who are making the meters. Ken Owens throws it into the bag, nicely taken by Chiperick. Now to Lupe Falatau. They look for the inside ball. No one was quite there, though. Will Rowlands, though, finds the offload for the Welsh. Pablo Matera collapses into the breakdown. He does not get the turnover he was after now. Nice passing. Lewis Reset, I should say. And dude, how you doing, man? That's long hours. Watch out for your health as well. Need to sleep. Says Nazi Williams. And also we have got there Bon Nuit, isn't it? Or Bon Nuit. Hamish? Bon Nuit? What is Bon Nuit? I feel like my brain hasn't got that one. Maybe. Oh no, is that Bueno Noite? No, how do you say it in Spanish? Buenoite. Buenoite, I think it is. That's close to a try. No, the ball's been dropped. And Argentina survive. It's a knock-on in their own in-goal area, though. But it's going back for the double knock-on. And they will still have themselves the scrum feed here. Mistake after mistake from both sides. Throughout that little patch, though, Michael Cheika will be a little bit nervous. Also, I've got there, good night in French. Buenas noches, says Alien YouTube, and also good night in French, says Karma Beach. I'm just looking at the time in this game compared to when the next game starts. And I believe our next live stream, we were going to be starting at 8:30, but that might be a little bit early for the live stream. So we'll see how we're going, but that would be 8:30. That's still an hour and a half away, which I believe there's still plenty of time left to have about 30 minutes or so spare by the time that this game's finished. We've hardly seen any stoppages in play, which has been really good for this matchup. And also we've got there, oh my God, Wales need a kick in there. Says Richard. Yeah, just a few too many early mistakes from the Welsh, but the same could be said about Argentina. They've been putting the ball down a little bit as well. Looks like some sort of injury here for the number 6, Dan Lydia. Not ideal for Wales. That looks like it's going to be number 20, Jack Morgan, now making his way out onto the field. I feel like I look very comfy at the moment. I think the France versus South Africa game is in 2 hours' time. It is. It's going to be the kickoff at 9 a.m. New Zealand time. It does go through to about that 11 a.m. mark. Maybe a bit earlier, although it depends on how much stoppage time we have, because if there's drinks breaks and everything, it will probably run relatively long. No Josh Adams, no, not for this match, and also no Dan Bigger in there either. And also a Wales 6 arm injury, says Richard. So yeah, unfortunately for it was Dan Lydia. He is off the field now. And also dropping the ball over the line is just typical of Wales clown performances, says Hershey there. Although now it's going to be a scrum feed for Argentina, only sitting a few meters out from their own line here. And also, when did you sleep, says DJ Mills. I slept not yesterday, but before. So pretty much I woke up about 24 hours ago from my 6-hour sleep. So I am probably lacking a little bit of sleep overall, but I'm slowly going to be catching up throughout the week. I think I'll have a couple early nights that I'm well and truly prepared for next weekend when it does come around. But I think it's just getting the body used to the fact that I also play cricket today. Because normally on a Saturday, I would end up, I guess, just chilling out, not really doing too much exercise or anything like that. But because I've actually done a little bit of running today, I think that's also used up a bit more of my energy. I've thought of going to America. It's a long flight, that is for sure. But maybe one day could consider it. But that one's gone down in the front rows. Dylan Lewis, a bit disappointed with that one, but they did end up with the kick for touch. And Argentina is not complete. There are players who say, should be and are not, says Alejandro there. So the likes of Nicolas Sanchez, I assume, is one player who you might have somewhere near the side. Also, I mean, no Guido Petti in the starting lineup's probably another big one for Argentina. Thomas Kubeli isn't playing at number 9. Nicely taken at the back, although it's not straight from Argentina. That is the mistake that they could not afford from Agustin Crevi. I feel like sitting back like that is too comfy, which I guess is also like anytime someone asks about why I don't have a comfy chair, that's pretty much why. Because if I had a really comfy chair, I would probably end up falling asleep. You look tired, says Totally Lemon. Yeah. Not too long to go now. And Wales not scoring with so much pressure, says Gareth there. It's like not too many happy coaches at the moment out there on the field. or out there in their boxes, I should say, and who are Argentina playing next week? Ooh, that is a good question. I will have a quick look, see who they have got. I want to say it's someone like either Japan or maybe could be Scotland. Have they played Scotland yet? Could be Scotland. I will have a look. Right now, we'll go here. It's an offside advantage for the Welsh here, and sitting 22 metres out. Short ball to Lewis Rees-Zammit, driven backwards in that tackle. And also, we've got there, you ever fallen asleep live yet? Not yet. Could today be the day? That would be quite funny, really, wouldn't it? I hope it doesn't happen. But the thing is, I feel like if I got to that stage of sitting here going and just like half nodding off, I feel like that would be when I need to know that, you know, it's not quite working out for me. That is going to be another penalty. The fact that we've only had 6 points in this game, I don't think's helped too much because we haven't had too many tries being scored. And Aussie, you're a machine. Good morning. This will be a good game. Says Red 7, it certainly will. And also Scotland, says Salvatore. And also from Gareth as well, saying it is Scotland for the next game. Oh, nice kick from Anscombe once again. And also you need a machine where viewer can splash you. Is it like one of those ones how you're like, you know how on Twitch or something they have the hamsters, and like when someone donates $1, a treat drops down? I feel like it would be like that. Like if someone donates $1, I just get sprayed in the face by a water gun. Now rolling more once again for Wales. They've got to get over here, surely. They've been close multiple times. Now it's close. It's over. And Wales get themselves the first try of the contest. How about that Italy result? Massive, massive win for Italy. And I think it's just showing that they are improving. Even though some people try and say that they aren't, they are. They are a side that are certainly making leaps and bounds of trying to keep themselves getting better and better. Talupe Faletau was the try scorer there for the Welsh. Now with the kick to come, they could get themselves a 1-point lead, and also everyone screenshot if he dozes off, says Darcy Williams. Yeah, see, I feel like that's the thing that I would try and avoid, mainly because I know that you guys have cameras or screenshotting ability on your phone. That was very well done for Talupe Faletau. Hang on. They checking this one? Maybe. No, don't think so. And the youngsters, for real, Italy, Wales will buck up here, says Salvatore. And also we'll get the let's go Wales, says Nate. Yeah, a little bit of a mistake, I guess you could say, from Argentina, giving away another penalty. And that kick is over. So now the score is going to be 7-6 in favour of Wales. The home side taking the lead. Just joking, bro. You're a machine, dude, says Darcy Williams. And there it also takes Wales 20 minutes to online to score, says Gareth. I'm going to slightly slouch down again. I think I pulled about 7 muscles in my abdominal region from batting, which is unfortunate. Good morning to the All Blacks win. They have not played yet. They do actually play tomorrow morning up against Scotland, and Sal's fine. Loved your mum's reactions earlier today. Did you order a kit? Yeah, I have indeed. Did order it last night. So it said 7 to 12 business days, but I do hope it arrives, if not this next weekend coming or this next week coming, hopefully the week after that. But it should be here relatively soon, hopefully. Which I'm sure she will be very happy about, having a Black Ferns kit. And also don't forget about the Barbars game, says Gareth. Yeah, it overlaps, sadly, which is so dumb. I have no idea who decided that it should overlap with the All Blacks game, but whoever did was a silly goose. And I'm a bit sad that they decided to do so. And also we get there, don't forget about, oh no, I really wonder not. And also we get there about what do that say about Australia? Like lost to France by a point. Now Italy by 1 point. Australia aren't having the best run, are they? Can somebody say something good about England smashing Japan, please? I haven't actually seen that game yet, so I can't really comment too much on it, unfortunately. But I think someone said that the score was about 47 points to 17 or something. So a nice, comfortable win for England after losing last week to the Argentines, who are currently 1 point down in this fixture. And Wales in the lead in a game. I've forgotten what that feels like, says Hershey. Now, Anscombe on its back throw now is actually Reece Zammit at first receiver. Interesting choice. Well, and also we have got there do us a favour and bog off, says Tim Phillips. How come? What's wrong with Nazi Williams? Also, we have got there Aussie. I have a point to prove. And there says Gareth. Now going short side. Once again, nice inside ball from Lewis Reece Zammit. Have to say the Welsh defence, the Welsh attack has looked a little bit stagnant at this stage. They've got another penalty advantage, though. Good run from George North. And also we have got the Japan are great, nearly beating New Zealand, but rubbish when they play England, says Dr. Weekrist. It does seem that way, although that seems to be the case with a lot of sides. They do really play their best rugby up against the All Blacks, and then the week after, it seems to be when it goes wrong. It's like Argentina back in the day. They played brilliant rugby up against New Zealand in the Rugby Championship, but then the next game after that, when they should have had the momentum, they lose it up against like Australia by about 30 points. And that was kind of that trend that they used to have this year, though. Closest that it's ever been. And also, how will you survive halftime, says Gareth? That's a very good question. I feel like halftime will be the hardest part, won't it? An evening from Dublin, says James Wackerman. And also, Japan were awful, and the All Blacks will hammer England next Saturday, says Richard. And there as well. All right, this one's going to be a kick lineup. They're making very good time currently for this game. So unless they go with a 15-minute halftime break, we should be all right. Maybe England are good, says Dr. Weekrist. They ain't a bad side. They got some decent skills, and also nice to see you so laid back and chill. It's a way to enjoy rugby in the weekend, says Sebastian. I'm also fighting off trying to stay awake, Sebastian, as well. I feel like when I lie back like this, it's like easier to feel like I'm going to fall asleep. So I have to come forward every once in a while just to wake myself back up. And Samoan and flags are going off in Mangere or South Auckland right now. And a long night, says James. Very long night. We have currently been up for 24 hours. And we have still got another 4 hours or so that we will be awake for. So hopefully we get that second win soon. Unless we've already had it and now we're looking for a third win, although I don't know if that's a thing. So it's tricky. 3 minutes left now, though. And also, hello, James. What were the two Irish games I like to be at, says Richard. Just outside of the 22, Argentina actually able to retain their own kickoff there. Bertrano going off to the side. Juan Cruz Malea. It's going to be dropped by Argentina. And now Ken Owens going off to the left-hand side. Only 2.5 minutes left and a half. Now one more goes into the midfield. Nick Tompkins. In fact, almost stolen by the Argentines. And also Fiji was bland. South Africa was good, says James Cody. And yes, South Africa are going to be playing a little bit later on tonight. Watching you stay awake for France game. Will be like watching a torture film, says Gareth. I should be all right. I feel like this game, no offense to either of these sides, but it's a different style to what we have seen in a couple of the other games today, if that makes sense. There's a lot more kicking involved, a little bit less running, watching you stay awake. I know I read that one. And also you can have as many wins as you want. It's your flatulence, says Gavin. And also Wales will make it to the semis next year, says Max. But that's a little knock on from Argentina. And take a nap, Hamish, says Dr. Weekrist. I mean, it's an idea to have a nap before South Africa versus France, although it would only be about a 30-second nap, or not a 30-second, only like a 30-minute nap. So I feel like it's the question of would that make me even more tired if I was to do so? And we will beat Australia next Saturday, James, says Richard, and also Pumas missing Montoya stealing the ball, says Gareth. From Wales got Argentina a bit rattled. They do. This cricket playing's hard stuff. I feel like on a normal day, we stay out for 24 hours, no worries at all. But because I play cricket, I feel like that's what's got me. A little bit of maybe heat stroke involved in there as well. We got a little bit burnt. Thomas Williams about to feed the ball in. So that first half probably took around 45 minutes. Also, get you some bottles of Powerade. I know what you're saying, but unfortunately I drank it all earlier when I was playing cricket. And also I care about Catherine Zeta-Jones. So I'm guessing no church today for Samoa, everybody at the parade in New Zealand. And also nobody cares about Wales, says Dr. Weekrist. And there, but now just enough time for one more play in this half. I think Wales are going to put it into the pocket, kick it into touch, and that is now going to be half time in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. And it will be 10 points to 6. And also, don't slip, brother, says Ernesto. And Catherine is a granny, says Dr. Weekrist. Yeah, half time in this matchup now, and also semi-finals of what comp? Is there a Papa John's World Cup that I'm not aware of? And wake up, Kiwi dude, says Max Power. And also, well, anyone want a coffee? Says Richard. And there, I feel like it's just when I lie back slightly that I get really relaxed. Like my eyeballs want to do like the sleepy stuff. But I don't want to do the sleepy stuff yet. Still wide awake. Tiredness is just a mindset, you know? That's a saying, I assume. I just realized next weekend's going to be actually very similar because we are going to have, in fact, no, next weekend might be a little bit different. No, in fact, no, it might not be. I've just realized that I think Saturday night, Daniel's girlfriend's got her 21st birthday. So I think I'm invited to that. And live streaming in Mangere area, says Nate. And also, don't look down on the Welsh. They are good and it's not tired. It's boring Wales, says Dr. Weekrist. And as I'm grabbing a fellow and duvet dude, oh no. Now, if that happened, I would be out for the South Africa versus France match, and we cannot have that. We have stayed up for too long to give up now. We're going to be all right. I go for a jog in between. No, that's not a good idea. That would make me more tired. My arm is in a weird way, though, from the cricketing. I know you'll hear me complain about using muscles that I haven't used before in a long time. And also with the guitar merely at halftime. Maybe it's a good idea. What song does everyone want? Who's got a request? Oh, my groin. I can't get my leg up on the desk. Right. What requests have we got, ladies? You know when you got this boss 40 minutes until the box? Says Nate. Yeah, what song? I will try my best to play it. I got a capo down here as well. A Nirvana. Or, I don't know whether or not I do know. Nirvana, Happy Birthday, a classic Sound of Silence. I like how these are all songs that I realize my arsenal is very small. Entertainer, says Dr. Weak Wrist. Could I ask something? Is Samoa versus England the most crazy live you've ever done? I would say so. In terms of the way that the match went, we had one a while ago for a Super Rugby game that got a bit hectic in terms of the game result, but nah, that one was massive. The way that it went. Who scored for Wales? It was the try for Talupe Faletau, the one try scorer. Do you know any other tunes besides the South African national anthem? I can probably find some. What we got? Go. We'll play a game of guess the song. If you can guess the song, you win nothing. So that's a brilliant deal. Capo on first. That's what we like to see. Right, who's ready? Where is the song? There it is. We'll see how this goes. And when do the All Blacks play? It is going to be tomorrow night at 3 a.m. that they are going to be playing. Right, here we go. That's all you're getting. Who knows that song? If you do, like I mentioned, you win nothing. This game is rigged, says Hamo. Is it against rigged in favor of Wales or rigged in favor of Argentina? Do let me know. I think he says, well, you know, or is it all? And also we have got there is down under I by Man at Work, Australian National Anthem. Says Max, that was not it. Green Day. Was it Green Day? Who plays this song? I gotta work out who's Oasis. Wait, I actually have to. Who actually plays this song? Yeah, nah, you got it right, Nazi Williams. Boulevard of Broken Dreams. You guys got it. Good job. I sounded like a proud parent of like a toddler. I was like, good job. You managed to do something. What's another song? Here we go. We'll get another one going. This is going to be how we entertain ourselves at halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Now, who's ready for another song? Let's see if you guys can get 2 from 2. We'll go from the chorus. You ready? That one wasn't as good. I didn't learn it quick enough. And a referee wants Wales to win following the script. Yeah, there's been a lot of penalties against Wales. I think he's given away 8 penalties against the Welsh. And then only 3 or 4 against Argentina. Yeah, that was a hard song, to be honest. If anyone got that, I would be extremely surprised. I think I should have done the verse, which I think I didn't do. There we go. That will give you hardly any information except no prize and bows, says Nazi Williams. Also, I guess gentlemen only, says Max Power. Yeah, at this stage, I think we're a 99% male audience, and also Hamish already has a Grammy, if you consider that as my nickname, says Sebastian. And you're bad luck, mate. Every time I listen to your commentary, the box is loose, says John. Well, I apologize big time, John, because at this stage, we are supposed to be doing that next game. I'm close to sleeping, but we're going to power through that next live stream. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for the box. It was actually Let Her Go by Passenger, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit wonky, so probably not the easiest one to be able to get. To be honest, I need to think of another song now. Oh, here we go. Let's all have a sing-along, shall we? I just realized how early it is in the morning, so no one in my house will be happy if I start doing a sing-along. Right. Next song. Here we go. Oops. Yeah. Good job. Straight away. Didn't even get to the chorus, and you already had it. Yeah, that was bad, though, wasn't it? Can you do the river dance? What is the river dance? How does one do a river dance? River dance. Is that the name of the song? Or is it river dance, chords, and tabs? And also, that's starting. It's very iconic. Okay. River dance. I don't think it knows what it is, Dr. Wheatcrest. Sweet Caroline. That's a good song for a sing-along, isn't it? See what the chords are for that one. Second threat. Perfect. We're already there. What we got? Where is he? There's Neil. Is that what it's supposed to sound like? That sounds bad. I think my guitar's not tuned the way that they want you to have it tuned. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. Anyone who's tuning in now, welcome in. This is what we do on the Kiwi Lads at halftime. Hamish, I will send you the video. Says Richard there. And also, you like car, Hamish? You could jam some chords of theirs. Says Oflachis. I think I've said your name very wrong, so I do apologize for that. What else can I play? That's supposed to be in a different chord, though, or different area. And CCR, Hamish. CCR? I came for this, don't care much about the game. This makes me out. Hamish is probably playing an umbrella. And I wouldn't know. He's so tired. Yes. I was like, from Argentina, Soda Stereo song, De Música Ligera. That sounds fancy. That sounds like the kind of site or the kind of song that if I played it in South America, I might find myself a lady friend. Would I be correct in that statement? Música Ligera. De Música de Ligera. No capo needed. She goes off. Strumming is down and down, down. It's got B minor in it. I have no idea how this one goes. Those are all the chords, but I assume it's really not in time. And have you ever been to South America? I have not. And also, you need to play classic guitar for that. And what do you call a Maori cow in the river? Says Tangata. What do you call a Maori cow in the river? An excelente. And also, Argentina should smash the Wales, says Dr. Weakrist. What's another song? You know when you know songs, but you can't think of any because you're like under pressure? And you're like, you feel like you should know what you should know? Was that English? Not really. What's a song? It's a rock song, and you made it sound like a tango. You're a real artist, says Max Fowler. Thank you very much. What other songs are there? We're almost... I can't think of any songs. Like, literally, my brain is blank. I should probably just go on, like, the top 100 songs and go from there. Where do I find the top 100 songs? I don't even know how to do that. Tabs. On that one. Oh, here we go. It's the top 100. What one will we want? We need a song that's classic that everyone knows. Not sure. I'm surprised so many. Can I just say thank you all very much for sticking around for halftime? Like, I was sure when I got the guitar out, everyone was going to leave. But, like, the number has not gone down. So, thank you all very much for staying, I guess. That's the best way of describing it. Right. Here we go. Oops. That was supposed to be the Beatles. Hey, Jude, that wasn't too far off, even though you weren't guessing that one. We like Hamish, don't know why. No, I don't know why. Sweet child of mine. And we are being held hostage by your guitar, says Gareth. And fair dinkum. Hey, the two sides are almost back out on the field, though. So we have survived half time, ladies and gentlemen. And we have done it in emphatic fashion. You know, I'm wide awake now. There's no stopping us. I think I am actually, though, going to go onto my live streaming software and set my other live stream for 15 minutes later, just so that I can have some food in between the streams so that I'm more wide awake. You know, France versus South Africa. I think we'll set that one for about 9 or 8:45. I feel like 15 minutes build up. Oi, Jude would have been better, says Sebastian. Yeah. We got any other songs that would like really build up some hype for the start of this match? Not really. Stairway to Heaven, I cannot play that. We should get Sweet Caroline out now, shouldn't we? Also, don't do cocaine, Hamish, says Dr. Weakrist. I will not, I promise you that. And also, we went through halftime and didn't drop below 100 visitors as a record. I know, it's weird, isn't it? And also, we have got there, just found you, do you stream during mini games? We do. We do a lot of rugby union. We don't normally have a guitar out, but that was to keep ourselves awake, as we have done 24 hours of being awake and about 12 hours of live streams. But we do rugby union, rugby sevens, rugby league, cricket as well, and a few videos along the way on the channel. But it is going to be claimed nicely by Argentina. They are inside of their own 22 now. Back into the hands of Carreras, who will kick it downfield. Nicely taken there by Cuthbert, looking for the attack and run. And also we have got the I did once and now I can't stop talking, says Dr. Weakrist. And also, Hamish, what's your prediction for South Africa and France? And who do you think is the best team currently out of France and Ireland? Oh, see, the French are a little bit more of the unknown than the Irish, I guess, just because we've seen Ireland playing a little bit more recently. We've seen France not really tested as of yet. I know they had their close game with Australia, but I think it just took them a bit of time to warm up. Sweet Caroline, bum, 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 says Nate. And also sub, says Mr. Fantastic AJ. Appreciate it a lot, mate. Thank you very much. And that subscribe button. Zalabirfrano, now kicking with the box. Oh, yeah, that was a good challenge in the air, and it's going to be claimed well by Lewis Rees-Zammit. Neil gives it off once again to Alex Cuthbert. He's had a lot of runs throughout the last little while. And also we have there, is it the second half? It is the second half. So I think we've done well so far to still be awake for this one. But I think halftime chat, we had fun. Well, I had fun. So I'm more awake now, I guess. Best way of describing it. Now it's going to be kicked high by Wales. Nicely taken by Santiago Carreras. Going to kick it downfield. Well controlled by the Welsh. It's going to be Thomas Williams. And Ireland were poor earlier. Fiji were 13, held out, then collapsed at 14. Fiji start well, then burn. And then you should get the power gel I see players take. The power gel. The power gel. Power gel. Is it like, is it like a liquid? Or it's like gel, isn't it? But like, what does it do? Gareth, do let me know. Now, box kick once again from Wales. Both sides just playing a little bit of the kicking game. That's going to be a nice take. And hopefully Rico Ioane gets a chance on the wing. Yeah, there's a chance that we might see him come off the bench and replace one of the two wingers in the match, whether that is Mark Delia or Caleb Clark. There are a lot of Blues players in this lineup once again for the ABs. And come on, Wales, there's Connor Crowley. Kicked him behind, nicely taken though now by Thomas Williams. On with the high kick. Goes up, must come down, and that one's come down straight into the hands of Santiago Carreras once again. And also we have got there Connor, says Dr. Weakrist, and also it's a solid Powerade type thing by in gel form. And also like a froob, the players suck on him, says Dr. Fantastic AJ. I see. When I am from this angle, it kind of looks like I've been punched in the face. Not ideal. And also don't underestimate Fiji. They are no easy opponent as demonstrated today. Exactly right. They're always going to push you hard, Fiji, no matter what the circumstances are in your game. Going to make sure that you have a tough fight and you have some sore bodies the next day. England smashed. So here's Dr. Weakrist, ball on the outside now. Nicely done by the winger. Rio Dyer stays in the field to play. And Ireland had 5 new caps today. Don't worry. Different story next week. So here's Richard. Now Williams once again. Going off to the right-hand side. Bit of a step there from Dylan Lewis. And the thing with this game is, I have to say, it's been good. We've had hardly any stoppages throughout the match. They've had hardly any time wasting or anything like that in terms of waiting for penalties, waiting for drinks, all that kind of thing. It's been a very smooth running game. So I think both teams should be proud of that. As well as some games can take about an hour for one half. Now, 2 knock-ons there. And I've never seen you drink during games. Stay hydrated. Cheers. Tis just water, I should mention. It's Tom Jones playing. Tom Jones. Is he the one who sings It's Not Unusual? Is that him? Maybe not. Or it might be, actually. What's his name? That's a banger of a tune, isn't it? Old school. I was England World Champs 2022. You're not going to give this one up, are you, Dr. Weakrist? And also, I never knew I would see Italy beat Australia. Yeah, a lot of people felt that game was going to be relatively one-sided, but it wasn't. And yes, he is Welsh, says Max Power, and also never knew I would see Italy beat Australia, and everybody loves Hamish, says Dr. Weakrist. And also, Doctor, you're a brave man, says Richard, and also, yes, he is, says Salvatore, and it is Tom Jones. Okay, we've had a scrum reset and the time off, so I think I jinxed it by saying that we hadn't really had too many stoppages between the two sides. It's pretty much straight as I said that, we have a stoppage. Not ideal. Right. Mino Keefe says he wants to see them go again. That's exactly what they'll do at scrum time. They will see how they go. Oh, what's your favourite movie? Oh, favourite movie's a brilliant question. I have a lot of favourite movies. I like something that makes me chuckle a little bit, you know, nothing too serious. Although some things are all right if they're serious, but I still enjoy a laugh. You know, just a nice wee comedy, a light-hearted one. Also, to be fair, like I really enjoyed Hotel Transylvania back in the day. So maybe that one. But I haven't watched it in a long time, like 2 weeks or something, you know, so it's all right. And thank you, Richard English. And also, if the All Blacks is rugby, Tall Blacks basketball, Black Ferns women's, does that make our dodgeball team the Black Bulls? Interesting analogy. Not too sure. I know that the men's badminton team is called the Black Cocks. And of course, out of context, that could be a very interesting sentence. But in context, that's actually their name. And also, we love you, Hamish. See Dr. Weakrist. And the New Zealand badminton team has the funniest name, says Gareth. Jinx. And also, you look like Gareth Bale, a Welsh footballer. I'll take it. He also kind of looks like an elf, though, doesn't he? So I guess I'll take that as well. Very Christmassy. We're almost in the festive season. Going to be kicked in behind once again. These two sides are just playing a bit of force back, similar to what you play in high school on the court. Just deciding to bounce and bounce. Thomas Williams, though, he charges that one down and scores the try. He has just been able to savagely get himself a beautiful try there. Juan Matan Gonzalez disappointed, but Thomas Williams gets in. And also we got the outflow, says Dr. Weakrist. And also we got the Diamond Hotel Transylvania, where cousin Dracula stars in, says Sebastian. Yeah, that's the one. That's actually quite weird how that's worked out, because like that's been like a movie that I used to watch a long time ago, even before YouTube and everything. And you mentioned about how didn't everyone get like tickets to be able to see it, or they were invited to be able to watch it or something along those lines in the Romania, Sebastian? That's a nice charge down in Argentina following suit. Good win followed by a loss. Thomas Williams jumping on that one. Vamos, Argentina. Yeah, he got that one down easy enough. Do you know that Ronaldo ate the rhinoceros? It would have been a tough job for one man, I would think. Did he so how does this happen, your person, Joshua? Did he just go one day, rhino, why not give that a go, you know? Something different. Sick of steak. And also, Argentina never won 2 consecutive games in Europe. Is that right? That's a stat. It sounds like I'm being sarcastic for a lot of things, but I think it's just my brain is slightly slower with the processing, so it takes a bit longer. Ronaldo ate the rhinoceros, spread the message. Interesting. Okay. And also we get the yes charge down kick and try. Yeah, so the mistake from Juan Cruz Malia taking a bit too long. Thomas Williams was able to get it. And also, doesn't this all show there is very little among the first tier on even any given day? I think it's brilliant because at the end of the day, it just makes the World Cup that much more anticipated now. And Dr. Hamish not small enough to be an elf. Says Richard there. And hello, a little bit late. Says, Ken, no worries at all, mate. You are here now, and I hope you have been having a decent morning/evening so far. I believe it's actually evening, and you still got another game to go. Hamish says, Nuzzy Williams, we do. I feel like we are digging deep. Probably, that's the thing. Last year we had a game that we actually ended halfway through because we were too tired. It was the Harlequins versus Exeter Chiefs final. That was back when I had a normal sleeping schedule. But now I feel like I'm slowly finding my second wind. I look down at the clock, though, and still see it's another 3 hours 20 till that next game's over, and it makes my brain hurt, but that's all right. At the end of the day, we can sleep when the game's over. And minus New Zealand, they're too consistent. I feel like also some people may confuse my tiredness for drunkenness. That has actually happened in the past before. Anytime I get way overtired, I actually become like I'm drunk. Like in terms of like that kind of silliness. So, yeah, if you think I'm drunk, it's just because I'm overtired. Fun fact. An England game shocked me. Expecting more from Japan, but shows how close the rugby is at the moment. Says Gannon and Hamish and small. Shows how massive England are, says Dr. Wickerison's Professor Smith would be a positive for any side. Says Salvatore, and Italy might move up 2 places in the world rankings. Today's win versus Australia. So, yeah, that's massive for them. Ben O'Keefe once again given another penalty. This game's going by very smoothly. I feel like I didn't actually have to change the live stream schedule for my next match. And minus New Zealand, they're too consistent, says Mr. Fantastic AJ. And also imagine if Wayne Smith coached the Springboks. It would be an interesting one. There's a lot of coaches that a lot of people are rumouring with new sides, you know. Like Scott Robinson with England. And who do you think is better between Finn Russell and Beauden Barrett? Depends on the game because they both have very unique styles. Australia need to quit, says Dr. Wheatcrest. And also comment about Wayne coaching the box, says Salvatore. But yeah, I think you go all right. You watching France versus South Africa? We sure are. And we are doing the commentary for that matchup as well. So anyone who is new, we should mention, don't base the commentary off this live stream and the next one off the whole channel because it will be slightly different. I feel like there's going to be a lot more random jokes thrown in there just for fun. 5 minutes out from the line. Argentina still looking to attack here. Rugby best sport in the world. It's right up there. That is for sure. Penalty to Wales. Good stuff. Almost slipped down a little bit too easy there. And Italy needed the win today along with the Wales win. And hopefully they can become a competitive part of the Six Nations. And brother, you know that France versus Springbok starts in an hour and 17 minutes, not 17 minutes, right? I do. Yeah, I do. So our live stream, I think we're starting 8:45 rather than 8:30. This kick hasn't found touch from Wales. Driving forward nicely, Juan Cruz Malia. So yeah, it's 9 a.m. kickoff, isn't it? For that one, I'm going down to the pub for a fight, says Dr. Wickrist. All right, well, be sure to stretch first. You don't want to pull anything. Regardless of today's results, Wales need a complete overhaul of management and coaching and a bunch of new players. Pre-match starts at 7, kickoff at 8 for the France game, says Gian. And also we got their turnover, says Hershey. And also we have got the Wales have been poor recently. They failed to score too often. And that's going to be another penalty, though, in favour of the Welsh. And also, what is the Wallabies' target for the World Cup, in your opinion? I'd say getting to the quarterfinals and then from there seeing what they can do. You know, at the end of the day, like, they aren't really considered as one of the top dogs in the World Cup, which is why they could go on and do relatively well. And what's your pub fight weapon of choice? Hang on, you need weapons for pub fights? Fair enough. I've hardly even been in a pub, let alone a pub fight or a fight in general. South Africa game starts at 10 p.m. and also it's only on Prime Video, though, says Richard. So, yeah, it's a 9 a.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. We will be starting 15 minutes before the kickoff gets underway. I feel like sliding back, but I know that that's danger because then we get into the tired zone. Nick Tompkins having to get taken off the field for an HIA there. About to throw it in. Nicely taken by Argentina off the back with Pablo Matera. Now getting back up to his feet and goes again. Violent crowd this lot, says Nazi Williams. Now going to the left. De La Fuente decides to hang on to it. I agree with what you said. I mean, look at the box before the World Cup, who gave them a chance, says Cameron Milner. And also the headbutt, says Dr. Weakrist, for his weapon of choice. Gee, I don't think I'd ever be able to headbutt someone because I know it would hurt my head more than it hurts their head. And I know if you get the right spot, it probably would hurt them, but followed by a kick to the nuts. Smooth. Also, Wales dominating in this as underdog in this match, says Coding there. Yeah, they were $2.50 underdogs, like you mentioned. Now doing not too badly. The biggest question, who will replace Eddie Jones after the World Cup? I think Scott Robertson could be a chance. Just saying. And I know that people don't like to admit it, but if we keep on signing Foster for the ABs, there's going to be a job available somewhere in the world for Razor. Now, Italy's starting to become a side that we shouldn't take lightly. I'd say so. I mean, even from watching them up against New Zealand last year, I felt that they had quite a bit to give. And you look at their URC sides, they have well and truly gone upwards this year. Like you look at someone like a Zebre, who is supposed to be an easy beat, but are actually pushing some sides. I was surprised to learn that Americans use baseball bats to actually play baseball. Here it's just for pub fight. We helper, says Sebastian. And I'm quiet because I'm eating noodles, 3 packets of them. That's impressive. What flavor, Nathan? This could be make or break for us, but what flavor noodles have you got? I'm going to tell you there's a right answer and there's a wrong answer. I want you to give me the right answer. It also sounds good. Nate might have to do the same. Mince over it. Or do that with some mince over it. And don't jinx it, Hamish. We don't need that negative, please. Razor needs to be at the ABs first. Then when he wins the World Cup, he can go to England. Says Cameron, they were close to the line there, but held up just for Argentina. So they've been hot on attack. And also we have got there, Hamish, you have not slept for more than 24 hours. Your eyes doesn't tell that insane dedication to the live commentary, says Coding. Yeah, I mean, if I got a bit closer, you'd probably see the bloodshot eyes for myself. But chicken, my bro, we can be friends, Nathan. We can be friends. And Wales to win, says Stuart Lee. And also, do you know Lions Henko van Vick? I do think he's a potential Springbok. He is, although he didn't really go too well in that South Africa A game, which was a bit of a shame because I feel if he had a big match there, he may have been able to boost himself in the rankings a little bit more. But yeah, he didn't really shine in that contest, unfortunately, for himself, which you would have been disappointed about. Yeah, around the side, Argentina with Juan Matan Gonzalez. He was a try-scorer machine throughout the Rugby Championship, but not yet in this. My groin is screwed. I shouldn't have run. I should have just slogged while I was at the crease, just had a whole heap of big swings, and then just stayed at the striker's end. And also we have got the average, I will still love you if you decide you're too tired to do the next game, says Nazi Williams. Yeah, I know that, but I feel like I'm starting to, I mentioned about that second wind. I think I've now found it. I'm doing all right. 25 minutes left and not much to keep him awake for, says Kean there. Game slowed a lot. It has. I feel like the fact, it sounds weird, but me reading the chat is slightly more entertaining. It sounds really bad, actually. It's more interesting than what has happened in the game because they're just kicking it back and forth. No one's really attacking it. France and South Africa will be good, though. It will be. Are you taking a leak on a bucket while you comment on this game, says Max Powell? I don't have a bucket, but I got a bottle. Just an idea. South Africa Sevens are under pressure after a very disappointing series in Hong Kong. Yeah, it just shows how much of an impact Neil Powell had on the side when he was the head coach. How many runs and wickets you've taken in your cricket match? So I did open the batting up against a tough bowling outfit to bowl a lot of line and length. I managed to get myself 10 runs, which wasn't too bad, to be fair. I think it was about the third highest run scored by our team. We were bowled out for 78. Oh, it's a yellow card for Wales. Will Rowland's going on his way. But yeah, I was a little bit slow starting, but I hadn't played in 10 years. So that was probably something like getting to double figures, I think was, I'd take that. And also, another game has died, says fantastic AJ. And this game hasn't really taken off. I've been very slow from the first whistle. Malcolm Marks will score first. And also, Argentina can't be bothered to play boring Wales, says Dr. Wheatcrest. And also, who do you think will score the first try for the Springboks? I'll go. Ooh, who will I go? I'll go with Jasper Vesa, the big man. Or if it is a French player, I will go with someone else. Their number 8. I can't actually remember who it is, but I'll go with him. And also, we have got there, I got some for you, and Nazi got you Mikaz. And also, nobody wants to play boring Wales, says Dr. Wheatcrest. And as well, but now 56 minutes into the contest, there's going to be another throw going in, nicely done by Argentina, and save those Wales, says Max Power. They have been told that they have to use it very soon. I can't remember what we were talking about earlier on. And the Welsh by 50, and Fuff versus DuPont are going to be interesting. And also we've got there 10 runs off 30 balls, 29 drop catches. Says Fashion. Oh yeah, I was telling you about my cricket. I didn't actually bowl though, but I was fielding in close at short cover. But I was dropped 2 times. I got a thick outside edge for 2, which I was pretty happy with because that was one of my best shots of the day. Yeah, I got dropped by the bowler, and I also got dropped off a no ball. That was a bit of a mixed bag. And Jasper is out. Quacker Smith starting. Is he? Oh, well, I guess Quacker Smith to score the try then. Who's going to be coming off the bench instead? Rico, do let me know. And DuPont's French face annoys me, says Dr. Weakwrist. And also, we've got that chicken as well. And there is one for you, South Africa. I won't get a try tonight, says Richard. And Noodles on the boil now. And the Welsh by 50, says Mark. And also, who you got in the foot race between Reece Samet and Beauden Barrett? I'll go Reece Samet. I feel like over a distance, Reece Samet certainly got that extra bit of toe. But Beauden Barrett, I feel like endurance-wise, would probably end up winning it. Outside edge, one of my best shots. Exactly right. It's an effective one. They didn't have a slip, so it worked perfectly. And the All Whites, says Dr. Wheatwrist. And also, are you supporting any team in the Qatar Football World Cup? I mean, I feel like it's going to be similar to every other competition we do. How we'll be pretty impartial. If we do end up doing some of that commentary, I can't believe Boring Wales made it to the Qatar. Your brother Gareth Bale will play. See, I used to get compared to James Lowe, but I feel like I've changed my face a little bit since then. So there's not quite as much of a similarity between us. And also Dion Foree gets Quagga Smith's place on the bench. Okay, sweet. Okay, Dion Foree, good player. Still surprises me that they haven't gone with Evan Ruas, because he didn't get to play for South Africa A. So for me, that kind of made sense for him to get the opportunity. And also, no slips, those patronising bastards. And the most boring game of the day. Yeah, it hasn't been the best, to be honest. Like, we do call games down the middle normally, but this one has been a bit rough. And that might have been why initially, like, I was 50-50 with whether we were going to be doing this matchup, purely because I wasn't sure how entertaining of a game it would be. I thought it would be a bit of a territory game. And to be honest, or to be fair, I fell asleep in the first half for like 10 minutes of this game, says Gian. And also, is Bale happy about your face? Maybe. I mean, I want to do Movember at some stage, but the problem is, as soon as I do, I kind of look like a Colombian drug dealer. So that's not really the look I'm trying to go for this year, you know? Maybe, though. You know, it might work. I'm a single individual, so I guess there's no one I've got to try and adjust my face for. And I think Evan Ruas might start against Italy next week, mate. I hope so. Because for us, then I feel like he's just being wasted. They're not willing to give him that chance. And definitely with Dwayne Vermeulen out now, it gives you that little bit more of an opportunity. Get those young guns going. And Colombian drug dealer, says Max Power. And did you ask Bale to borrow his face? I didn't. I just stole it. Like my driver's license. I wish I could show you guys my driver's license without showing you all my actual information. And also, I don't have my wallet on me. But pretty much, yeah, it just looks like I have smuggled many things into the country. The Monkey King, and are you paying Bale royalties for using his face while he sleeps? Says Max Power. I mean, it's not that close, is it? I feel like my ears need to be slightly pointier. But I can see the comparisons. There's a New Zealand long distance runner who looks very similar to me. And I looked at similar to him that someone actually on a live stream congratulated me for my medal or my placing that I ended up getting in the Commonwealth Games. So, of course, I ran with it and said, cheers, bud. Yeah, it's hard work, but, we got there in the end. Also, how do you feel about Kirtley Aldensa starting him a Pippi off the bench? I'm not sure, to be honest. I've got that used to Makazole Mapimpi being in the starting lineup, but is it the case of it's time for a change? Because he hasn't really been lighting the world on fire out on that wing. I was like, congratulations, Hamish, for your Commonwealth performance, or your performance in the Commonwealth Games. So here's Max, and imagine that Richard says Kian. And, if Italy beats South Africa next week, wow, that would be huge for the Italians. And, I mean, they've built up their best possible form heading into that game, winning up against the Samoans, winning up against Australia. And now in a big game, and also we have got the Pumas making too many handling errors. Yeah, this game, there's been a lot of scrums in the second half. And better than looking like Mandela, says Dr. Weakrist. And also we have there, what if they do? Says Ken. I feel like we'll hear a lot of South African supporters angry. And this game is more sleepy than Hamish, says Gareth. Yeah, there's been nothing happen in this one, to be honest. And also if you go through the check-in at the airport, be prepared for that glove with the mustache, says Sebastian. Yeah, so you got to be strategic, don't you, going through airports? My uncle always gets stopped at airports as they think he's dodgy, but maybe that's where I get it from. And also imagine losing to Wales, says Yanni now. And also we have got there, come to Ireland, Hamish, says Carmen Beach. One day, would love to be able to travel to Ireland, watch a game at the Aviva, to hang out with some of your fellas. It's kicked them behind. And also don't forget Italy beat Wales, who beat South Africa. I know that doesn't matter in the world of rugby. Let's just pretend it does for a second, make Italy look promising. And there says Kian, and also we have got there. And the chat, do you believe in the multiverse theory? I probably haven't looked into it enough. I hardly know what's happening in my universe at the moment, let alone the other ones. Argentina beat Australia, or Argentina beat New Zealand, and Wales are winning, says Mr. Fantastic AJ. And I just realized we are 0 out of 4 so far in this round, North versus South. Well, that's not good, is it? And in fact, that's really bad. So hopefully South Africa can get themselves a win over France, and New Zealand can get themselves a win over Scotland tomorrow. And you're so welcome, oysters and Guinness, says Karma Peach. How about hot chips and a burger? That's a pretty good combo too, to be honest. And that's my point. No game is ever the same. And I tell you, if Italy win, Munster will be delighted that they got rid of South Africa manager. And also we got there, Italy for the next Grand Slam, Six Nations. Watch the space, says Mark Jones. And also South rules in Japan. They had New Zealand beat. We got battered today by England. I had a feeling South Africa are going to manhandle France, says Yanni now. I'd like to think they'll have a better plan than they had last week up against Ireland, because last week it just didn't seem like anything was really, there, I guess you could say. Sorry about not mentioning the game too much, ladies and gentlemen, as well. It's literally all been played round the halfway line and no one's really doing anything. But I've just realized if anyone's trying to watch this live stream afterwards, follow along with the commentary of what's happening in the game, they're going to have no clue what's going on. But it looks like it's going to be Wales who will be lining up this 3 points. Fun history, Tonga beat Wallabies 16 points to 11 in 1973. And cotton chips, and Japan were disappointing today after 2 weeks ago, says Mr. Fantastic AJ. And I think the ABs will win, says Grigger. And just get that guitar so we can sing along. And this international season just feels like anything can happen, and it is. And Hamish, what advice would you give to someone trying to get their life together, trying to achieve their dream, but somehow can't get the laziness out of them? Says Luke. Can I have a little bit more information, Luke, in terms of what the dream is? Just to try and give you a little bit more help. I will mention I'm not the best at giving advice. Like, I can probably give advice better than I can take advice. No, actually, that's a lie. I probably take advice a lot better than I give advice. Because I normally, if someone's telling me something, I normally go, And I'm a listener, not a talker, which sounds weird because these live streams are literally the other way around. Also, think about tier 2 teams. They beat the best teams in the world. Next week, they lose 50-0. Hey, Hamish, can't wait for the game against France. Only 1 hour to go. Says not your everyday cultist. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. We would have been up for about 25 or 26 hours, I believe, at that point in time. And also, we got their rugby, says Luke. So I guess the thing is, with rugby, if you've got that laziness, you've got to try and get rid of it. Because the only way to get better is to keep on training and training and training. Like for me, not really the best example because, of course, I sit here for 12 hours a day. But recently, I have been trying to go to the gym like once, twice, 3 times a week just to try and wake up muscles that I didn't really know that I had. And also just because you kind of feel quite good afterwards as well. So, like, as long as you enjoy what you're doing in terms of the rugby and you enjoy that challenge of trying to push your body to that next level to try and be one of the best, like, it's one of those ones that if you can get through that first initial, like, I'm sore stage, then you are good to go. Like, I am going to hate tomorrow and the next day because I played cricket today and my body hurts big time. But I'm going to keep going. Gym on Monday. Probably going to the cricket nets on Monday as well. And then training on Thursday, playing on Saturday. Keep it going. Get that momentum flowing. Oh, I mentioned the dedication you really need to sleep in after the game against France. Says not your everyday cultist. I do indeed. The UFC's on today, so it's a shame that I'm going to be missing it. And also wake up early, set a routine, and stay disciplined. Easier to say and then do, but make a plan, follow it, and reward yourself. Says Mr. Fantastic AJ. And also we have got there. Thanks, mate. And also, do you think Italy lost motivation? Seems everyone was against them. But then that win against Cardiff lit a spark, on top of that, their new Kiwi coach. And I mean, 26 hours, yeah, it's a while. And also, I should mention, like, we've done 26 hours before, but this just feels a little bit heftier because I also played cricket earlier today. So I spent about 5 hours out in the sun running around as well. I went to a topless disco last week, no roof in it. I thought it was something else for a second there. And, you know, the boys have your back, Hamish, if we are able to watch the game, but prefer your commentary. Feels like a rugby barbershop, says Rico. And hashtag team no sleep. Yeah, we haven't had a single person on this live stream talk about what's happening on the field, which is pretty awesome. In a way, and women like listeners, says Stone Cold. Yeah, well, my ex-girlfriend, I listened to her and then she went, yeah. I think Tony from Distracted Sports and 2 Cents Rugby are going to talk to me about my love life on the next live stream that we end up doing as a collaboration, which will be an interesting one. And Italy have new life and they're back in it. They play with more confidence and now less knock-ons and spread the ball on the plan. And Hamish, how you doing? If the box kick or if the box kicking game is not spot on and they don't play the running game, they're going to have a hard day at the office. Exactly right. And you should have done Italy versus Australia replay instead of this game, says Gareth. Yeah, it's an interesting one. This game is really not propelled to the extent that a lot of people hope that it would. I guess it's the best way of describing it. There have been moments in the second half that I've considered picking up the guitar. Get your balls out, says Ben O'Keefe. You heard the man? No, sorry. Inappropriate jokes for this hour of the morning. And Italy looking solid, Ken, says Nate. Well, Rowlands, he has had his 10 minutes off the field, but we are currently sitting 66 minutes through this game. I hope Argentina have got another try in them just to keep something going. I believe we've had 1 try in the second half and maybe a 3-pointer. I believe is all we have had for this one. But Wales now back up to 15. As they've said, the French took 20 to 30 years to get going in the Nations Cup. When they started it, I think Italy will become a real force. They just need to have a good start, like win first 2 games, then change will come, says Mark. And also when this match is over, we may take stream down because no rugby on it, says Richard English. I mean, the first half we kind of commentated to an extent, and people want to see their guitar skills at halftime, but second half, certainly not a lot of commentary going on for this one. But there just hasn't really been too much. Like, I'm listening to the commentary in my ears, while chatting to you guys. And there's just nothing really that has been happening. I'm surprised you played cricket. I didn't think any Kiwis could after their T20 performances, Gareth. And I mean, to be fair, I only got just into double figures, so probably not the best innings, but it can improve. Practice makes perfect. And practice game for Wales today, really, says Mick Brown. And also, you're willing to do a deer for every time South Africa or France kick the ball, or what type of deer are we talking? Plucking one hair off my face? No, that would hurt. No, forget that. I fell asleep with my iPad on and dreamed Hamish was given a presentation, says Annoy. And also, Wales played well for a few minutes, showing the game breakers, but they've all gone to sleep. And what time will it be in the game New Zealand versus Scotland? That is going to be a 3:15 a.m. kickoff, I believe, tomorrow morning, somewhere around that mark. Now, nice rolling maul. Hey, Argentina scored a try. Hey. Bino keeps saying, get out of it. Oh, that was a slap in the face. Literally a slap in the face. And try Argentina. And also, I got no ears. My missus scream at me. I'm like, huh? Oh, what's that, babe? Okay, there's still a bit of push and shove going on between the sides. And there is no team that know how to win a World Cup like South Africa and New Zealand. Says Yarni now. And also, I can't believe South Africa side. South Africa A side went down to Munster. What a game from Munster, says Andre. Yeah, they played extremely well. And a lot of people were pretty much ruling out Munster because they weren't having some of their top players, but they just played a lot better. The chemistry was there. I think that's what really helped them. Also try for the Pumas, says Ken, and also a good win by Italy. The thing is, Argentina, if they get this kick, we might see a draw in this game. And it's a situation that sounds rough and harsh, but Argentina score again. I wouldn't mind seeing a draw between these two sides because I don't think either of them have really played well enough to claim a win. Is that too harsh for myself? That might be my 26 hours of being awake talking. But, like a draw would be like, yeah, you both played kind of average, so have an average, like, kind of result. Can Argentina do it for a draw? At least, says Gareth. They're going to need to try soon. Kiwi and the Bok, best teams in today's rugby, says Mick Brown. And also we have good there. Does either team deserve the win? No, I literally just said that, says Kian. In there as well. So, yeah, I mean, I'd take a draw for both sides. Carter onto the field. Beard is off. And Juan Cruz Malia. And the ball up as well. And yeah, harsh, says Mick Brown. And I love Wales, but this game has been missing a lot. Says Mr. Fantastic. I mean, if Wales score again, though, I feel like they would deserve the win. It's going to be tapped into touch by Argentina, and now Wales are going to have themselves another chance. And also, that's why, yes, Harsh, and also that's why Wales play slow and grinding. And also, we have the yes, Hamish. I never agree more with you, says Richard. And Mick Box haven't played well yet, nor has New Zealand. And also, after all the hidings Argentina got from the Box ABs and Wallabies in the past, they still losing to Wales, says Stone Cold. And yeah, to go from beating England, which was a massive game for them to be able to beat the English, now to go to this game up against Wales and could maybe lose by 14 points if there's another try. That was our first yawn of this half. Cross kick attempt. It's going to bounce awkward. Juan Cruz Malia does extremely well on the offload up now. It's going to be a good attacking run from Matthias Orlando. Gets it in behind. Wales jump on it on the halfway line. 71 minutes late. And now it's waking up a little, says Ken. Yeah, both sides seems like they found there with a little bit of an extra gear here and quite aware, says Mick. In there as well. Now, no hands, says Ben O'Keefe. Looks like they're going for the box kick again. And also Wales need to kick up. The backside is what they need. A lack in hunger against the ABs and not playing like a home team again here, says Mark Jones. It's nicely taken there by Juan Cruz Malia. A little bit of wrestling off the ball going on between Dylan Lewis and I think it was Focando Isa. Now down the middle of the field, it looks like it's just going to pull up short of the in-goal area. So that is a great kick downfield. Now Lewis Rees-Zammit, he will return fire with the touch finder, and it has gone into touch. And come on, the Pumas. See, here's Nate. And there as well, like they're saying, Will Rowland's just getting a little bit of treatment here for that man. Hope he is going to be all right, of course. We don't want to see him hurt, because being hurt sucks, as I now know. Nice little bounce of the ball, though, for them. And I come on, the Pumas. Says Nate. Yeah, Argentina, if they get themselves a converter try here, we are going to be drawing. That looks like an injury for Will Rowland's actually on the wrist. And they actually lost. They lose a little bit earlier on. Dan Lydiot was the other player they lost in Italy, beating Australia. Massive win, and Pivot's fault, says Mick Brown in there as well. I'm going to slightly slouch down on my chair again. A broken wrist. Or a broken wrist, I think it is for Richard. So Pumas won't be doing any fakies or fakes moves. Do it like Artie, says Nate, of course, with that massive dummy cell. That's not straight from Argentina, unfortunately. That was their opportunity to try and attack a little bit more, but it didn't work out. Go Argentina, says Nazi Williams. I feel like I'm talking almost too quietly for where the microphone is. Might have to move it closer. Or I might just not and talk a little bit louder. 7 minutes left in this game. I can tell you, I honestly won't be watching a replay of this match. Unfortunately, I don't think it's one that has tickled my fancy as one that you watch over and over again. Hopefully next week it's better for both of the sides. And Lydiot starts and goes off within 20, it feels like the last few years, says Mr. Fantastic. And it's always with an injury, isn't it? Trust me, get a pillow and duvet image, it helps, says Nazi Williams. Straight after Springboks game, we're going to be good to go. I'm not too bad at the moment, though. I'm probably going to end up doing doing a bowl of Weet-Bix once this one finishes, but I'm going to end up having some Weet-Bix, and that will wake me up as well. Does this game show just as the England game how close the gap is at the top, says Ken. Does indeed. And come on, the Puma, says Doggo. And then now nice little snipe round the short side for Wales. Now jumping forward. Cruz Malia. Nice work there. And also, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this can do with some refereeing controversy, just spice things up. And also, this was a discussion earlier I had about the gap closing at the top and unlikely teams being able to win on their good days. And also, we do have heaps of South Africa fans. They probably get pissed off if you don't do next game, says Nazi Williams. Yeah, at the end of the day, I've got the whole day to sleep. I've got nothing planned for Sunday or today. So, I'll probably sleep till 1 a.m., somewhere around there, get up, have a couple hours of preparation, and then go in and do that match-up between New Zealand and Scotland. Head back to sleep for a couple hours, wake up, go to work on Monday. A Weet-Bix and referees debate, says Nate. Oh, that rhymed. Now, once again, two sides are playing an aerial game of kicking tennis, which we love to see. Now, it's kicked downfield by Argentina, claimed by Wales, kicked downfield by Wales. He's found touch. How's the weather in New Zealand now? It's not too bad at the moment. 13 degrees. It's actually supposed to be quite a nice day. It's overcast, so it's not great yet, but hopefully later on in the day might look a little bit shinier. And also got to support my Northern Hemisphere neighbours, or Northern neighbours in France here. Sorry, Springboks. CSK, and also Samoa upset. The home crowd was huge. Full credit to the boys, says Ed Vogel. Very well done. Wait, we talking rugby league or rugby union, Ed? So I guess they did it in both, didn't they? And okay, everyone, who was the worst ref of this autumn international matches? Ooh, tricky one. Not too sure, actually. And also nice enough to get a tan, eh? Says Gavin, well, I got a little bit sunburnt yesterday, which is good, I guess. And are you coming to France next year? That is something I'd love to do, but something I know that at this stage I won't actually be able to do, unfortunately. We will be doing the live streams, though, from here in New Zealand. But yeah, I would have loved to be able to go to France. And how can you be against the Box? They're the most beautiful logo in rugby, says Yanori now. And Jaco Piper, whenever he rests, says Salvatore. And well, if Wales lose next week, I lose it. Or I leave it. So Wales only team playing tier 2 team next week, says Richard. Now moving up to the halfway line. 4 minutes left in this matchup. Back across for Argentina and Box versus Ireland, in my opinion, says Bad Guy. And there as well. And also many sleepy nights, says Doggo. And also we have got their weather here in New Zealand is windy due to Samoan flags waving. And Newlands Cape, Bloemfontein, South Africa saw few international games when it lived their late 70s, says Mick Brown. And Wheatbix with cold milk, always a winner, says Rico. And Luke, the England ref by far, says Richard. Oh, a little bit of a spin there for Argentina. They're still hanging on to this. They're 13 phases in now. And it's going to be stolen by Wales. Another good run. Thomas Williams goes short side. Have Argentina had a yellow card in this game? I think Thomas Lavanini has been on his best behaviour so far. And same with Marcos Crema. They've just given the ball back to Argentina. There's been a lot of, I guess you could say, thoughtless kicking going on in this match. And who are Wales and Argentina playing next week? So Wales, not too sure who they play in their next game. Maybe Fiji. And then also Argentina, they are going to have their game up against Scotland. And do you reckon USA Rugby will join Rugby World Cup next year? They've had a decent start, although Portugal also looking like a tough side. And after their game up against Kenya, where they won at about 80-0, I think, yeah, it's certainly going to be an interesting one to see who can make their way through. I don't think it will be Kenya, and I don't think it will be Hong Kong, though. I think it's between the USA and Portugal for that final spot. And I can hear the Samoan parade in the distance, says Mark there. So, yeah, there'll be a lot of Samoans well and truly celebrating today. Because at the end of the day, they got a massive upset win over the home side England. Which is something you can say is not too easy to do. Whoa, my frame rate's real slow. You know. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? My Wi-Fi cut out for a little bit of time there, which is a bit strange, but we're back now. The game hasn't reloaded, but I don't think we're missing much. So that's all right. And Dude crashes out, and also Manchester Chiefs. And also what's the score between Tonga and Chile? I think Tonga won that one relatively comfortably, but yeah, my Wi-Fi cut out a little bit. As you can see, I'm still kind of going at a slow frame rate, which isn't ideal. Yeah, we'll have to try and sort that out before the end of the next one. A 12-hour stream off sleep. And where did Hamish go? And your wife did what? Says Gavin in there. No, my Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, not wife. And also, well, didn't take too nicely to that England slander, says Kian. So, yeah, what we will end up doing probably before the Springboks game is resetting my PC just to hope that it does end up running a little bit smoother. Fingers crossed. Of course, currently 81 minutes through the game between Wales and Argentina, but I believe they will still be a little bit short. And Welsh crowd desperate for the win. It turns out two major league rugby clubs out of the competition in 2023. It was LA Giltinis and Austin Gilgroni. So, yeah, the two owned by Gilchrist, weren't they? To get themselves in a little bit of trouble. And just desperate for the win if they are cheering at this, says Gareth as well. But yeah, I do apologize about me randomly cutting out there, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of vehicles are horny, says Stone Cold. True fact, I guess you could say. Yeah, currently, and just keeping a close eye on the scoreboard because I can't actually see the game at this point in time. It has frozen for me. So it's kind of a secret. It's like just writing it down and just randomly guessing. And come on, the Pumas, there's Mark Somerville. They will be looking to try and get themselves a try at the end of this game. I will quickly see if I can get it up on my phone as the option. Perhaps. One moment. We'll go like this. We'll go like this. And we shall go like this. Oh, the game's over. And you should use Ethernet cables. I actually am plugged into an Ethernet cable, Gareth. But for some reason, it just decided to completely cut out. So, yeah, I will reset my PC before we get into our next game, which is going to be taking place in 25 minutes' time. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll try and get this Wi-Fi sorted out so we can be rearing to go for that Springboks match that is just around the corner. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.